Welcome to Empower Connect podcast. My name is Carolyn McLean, the Forgiveness Coach. Today I want to talk about prepare yourself to change and live in the present. The P in Empower method to forgive is for prepare. Prepare, according to Webster, means to make ready beforehand for some purpose, use, or activity. We have talked about examining yourself to see if you walk in unforgiveness. We talked about your mindset towards forgiveness. Now it is time to prepare yourself to walk in forgiveness. Decide to start walking in forgiveness by praying to God and asking Him to help you heal. Your foundation to forgive should be based on Jesus. This creates a new pathway for your life and a new way of thinking about your life. Tell God how you feel. Admit that you are angry and hurt. Tell Him you cannot do this without Him. This is what I did when I started my forgiveness walk. I told Him that I did not feel like forgiving. I gave Him every reason I could think of to make Him understand my pain and why I could not forgive. He said those are valid reasons, but you have no right to not forgive. You have been forgiven through my Son. So I had to forgive through faith, and it was not a quick process. So do not rush or force the forgiveness process. Forgiveness is not a quick fix solution. The process of forgiving takes time to acknowledge the wrong that has been done to you. Take time to make your language of forgiveness a commonplace. Before you can practice forgiveness, you have to know what it means to forgive another person or situation by understanding what Jesus' action on the cross meant. Forgiveness changes things, and through Jesus' forgiveness, we received a new life, a new chance, a new way of thinking. When we understand that Jesus' way leads to a life of purpose and meaning, we will be able to start walking in forgiveness. Understand why you need to let go. Refuse to be the victim. Knowing forgiveness is a way to take back control of your feelings and well-being. Forgiveness can help you let go of pain and hurt, but it begins by recognizing your feelings and worth, and it's powered by actions that help you proceed, that helps you process to be able to reflect. Forgiving can reduce the negative emotions, tolls of holding the emotional tolls that holds on to hurtful experiences. Forgiveness is linked to lower reports of depression, anxiety, and anger, greater self-esteem, improving academic achievements, and happier and healthier relationship with others and yourself. Since forgiveness is a very personal and emotional process, it is important to build a strong foundation from which to practice forgiveness. You see, my foundation is based on what Jesus did for me on the cross. Find a way you are comfortable processing your emotions, understanding your self-worth, and become familiar with coping and forgiveness processes and strategy. I started this by keeping a journal of my feelings. When someone wrongs you, somehow you feel like you will never be able to get over it. Even after the anger passes, you somehow manage to dwell on the betrayal instead of letting it fade into memory. In reality, forgiveness simply means choosing to let go of your anger, hurt, and desire for vengeance. Healing starts by processing what has happened to you and express what about the situation is not okay. We need to live in the present. Be mindful of what your thoughts are. Forgiveness demands present, reminding us that we are not the same as the feelings we possess in a given situation. In other words, it can be said the more you practice mindfulness, the more you strengthen your capability to forgive. Set healthy boundaries. Before you can forgive someone, you will want to make sure you can put your feelings into what happened into words. This requires you to first embrace these feelings, even the unwanted ones. Set your sight on giving yourself a boost towards a happier life. Be very clear about setting boundaries with those you deal with. Let people know what is acceptable and not acceptable by realizing it is not your job to fix them. It is okay if others feel angry, but it is not okay for others to lash out at you. It is okay to say no. You are not responsible for how others feel. You do not have to anticipate the needs of others. Your needs matter. You have a right to your own feelings. Understanding what is in your heart, choose to capture the poisonous thoughts instead of entertaining them. This is how you end the lie that has held you hostage by declaring God's truth. Do not take it personal. What others say or do to what reflects their own reality. Excuse me. This was not easy for me. I was caught up in how others thought about me, but I learned to practice a new approach to life. To not get caught up in the pain and suffering that comes from the belief and behavior of others. This was not an easy practice to me. This caused me time and energy wasted reacting to other people's reality or even my perception of their realities. Though what people committed against me or us could be serious and hurtful. Just remember, we are not dismissing the pain. We are only acknowledging it to move past it. So when I decided to forgive my parents, I had to surrender wanting to be in control and allow God's forgiveness to work through me. I realized this was going to be a process, a daily process. We tend to want a once and for all forgiveness event. But in Matthew 18, verses 21 and 22, Peter comes to Jesus and asks, Lord, how many times should I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Jesus answers, I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. Jesus reminds us that with some people or situation, we will need to forgive over and over again. So I ask you, how many times have you came to Jesus and asked him to forgive you over and over again? Realizing that unforgiveness keeps you in bondage. Feeling hurt and practicing forgiveness is usually an emotional process. One of the best ways to work through these feelings is to have an outlet for thinking about the processing the things you are feeling. Be comfortable with expressing yourself in a way that works well for you. Journaling is a good way to express these feelings, or even talking to a close friend. Focus on self-works. Forgiveness starts with you, realizing that you need to forgive someone suggests that you have been wronged. However, for someone to be able to wrong you requires a belief that you are worthy of better treatment. Before an individual can recognize why a wrong is wrong, they must understand their own worth as a human being. Understanding this helps you know you deserve better and will be able to walk in forgiveness. Then you can let go of your expectation you have of other people. Learn from your experience. Forgiveness begins and ends with you. Forgiving someone for what they have done to you is one of the hardest things to do. But once it is done, it is also one of the best feelings to experience. The feeling of complete freedom from negativity and resentment. Freedom from the hold that the person or situation had on you. The beauty of being a Christian is that our core message is one of forgiveness through Jesus Christ. Remember, you are forgiven so you can forgive others. Thank you for tuning in today. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. If this has been a blessing to you, please visit www.carolyncoaching.com where you can subscribe to this show. That way you will never miss an episode. Also, feel free to share with others. And remember this, you may get knocked down, but you are not out. Get up. This is not the end of your story. Thank you, and God bless.